Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? ADS Play 101 here. Welcome to the Pokemon Unite test server where we are going to be taking a look at Alohan Raichu coming soon to Eos Island. Now, I'm doing this all in one take. There will be no cutoffs or anything like that. I'm just going to review the character as quickly as efficiently as I can, regardless of time. So just bear with me as we get started. So Alohan Raichu is an intermediate range special attacker. And he has like 4 out of 5 stars offense, very low endurance, 1.5 stars. His mobility is high, obviously, because he's surfing on his tail. And his scoring is 3 stars, which is about average, and he has basically no support. So his basic attack, so let's just go to his basic. As a Pikachu, he becomes a boosted attack with every 3rd attack, dealing increased damage. This boosted attack also paralyzes opposing Pokemon for a short time when it hits. So that's good. As a Raichu, if this Pokemon hits an opposing Pokemon with a basic attack or move, its boosted attack gauge increases by 1. When the boosted attack gauge reaches 4, the Pokemon's next basic attack becomes a boosted attack that deals increased damage and also deals damage to opposing Pokemon near the target, a maximum of 5 Pokemon. So, we already went over his ability, basic attack. No, we didn't go over his ability yet. So, as a Pikachu, its ability is static. So, it paralyzes all opponents near the Pokemon for a short time. When the Pokemon receives damage, this ability goes on cooldown after it's triggered. So, it has a dope passive as a Pikachu. And Surge Surfer. The Pokemon can use basic attacks while moving. When the Pokemon uses a move or a boosted attack, it dashes in a designated direction. So it basically it chases people, basically. So its first set of moves. First off is Thunder Shock. It's a short hit, releases electricity at the designated opposing Pokemon, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in an area of effect. Also paralyzes them for a short time. Stored Power for a short time increases the user's basic attack speed. The user's next 6 basic attacks also launch Star-shaped Electric Blast that deal additional damage. The upgrade, the Electric Blast decrease opposing Pokemon's special defense. This effect can stack up to 3 times. And Electro Ball has the user hurl an electro orb to the designated location where it remains for a short time. When an electric orb and an opposing Pokemon touch, the orb releases its electricity and deals damage to nearby opposing Pokemon. A maximum of 2 can be kept in reserve for this move. Its second set of moves, first one is Thunder Wave, has the user discharge a weak jolt of electricity in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon and leaving them paralyzed. So both his starting moves causes a stun. Thunderbolt has the user release a strong electric blast in a designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon, leaving them paralyzed. If this move hits an electric orb created by Electro Ball, the orb releases its electricity and deals damage to nearby opposing Pokemon. The upgrade leaves Pokemon unable to move instead of paralyzed. What's the difference? Whatever. And Psychic has the user release a strong telekinetic force in the designated area, dealing damage and applying a slow effect to opposing Pokemon it hits. If the user hits opposing Pokemon slowed by this effect with if the user hits opposing Pokemon slowed by this effect with a basic attack, it deals additional damage. Okay. If this move hits an electric orb created by Electro Ball, the orb is pulled to the center of the move's area of effect. And the upgrade deals damage over time in a designated area for a short time. And its Unite move, Thunderstorm Aerial, has the user create a starship zone of electricity in a designated area, dealing damage and applying a slowing effect to opposing Pokemon it hits. The zone remains on the field for a short time, deals damage over time, and applies slowing effect. If the user hits an opposing Pokemon in the zone with a basic attack, the user's next basic attack becomes a boosted attack. So, for this demonstration, I'm going to be using Wise Glasses Shell Bell, and special attack specs. So we're gonna take a look at what his moves are. So I'm gonna be going against Dark. I always try to go against like the, I guess you would say like the worst case scenario in a sense. I don't know who would be like a good counter. I think Darkrai is pretty good. I had him set last time. I can't really think of who else might be. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep Darkrai. Because first we're gonna test this out on the substitute doll, and then we're gonna try to go fight Darkrai later on. Let's see how well he matches up against an actual threat, or as much as the computer will allow, because I can't do any matches in the test server. All right, so the first two we got. There we go. So we got Thunder Shock, Thunder Wave. So we're gonna take these wild Pokemon off because who cares about them? All right, so Thunder Shock. There's a nice little reach. There's a nice range on it. And that stuns, by the way. Like, that paralyzes them. So they're not going to be able to move pretty much. And his range is pretty good. It's a little bit, I don't know, maybe because I don't play Pikachu like that. But from what I can tell, his range seems to be like a little bit better than Pikachu's. Than normal Pikachu. There's Thunder Wave. Got a good range on it as well. Yeah, that's not bad. So we're gonna go to this first set of moves. So we're gonna go Stored Power, and let's go with Thunderbolt. Now, both of his second moves work with Electro Ball, but I'm gonna go with Stored Power first. So first off, he's moving around. First of all, this moving animation is dope as hell. Like, let's just go ahead and just get that out of the way. That's dope. So when he activates Stored Power, basically blasting him from a distance. That's not bad. Overall, it's like, what, 1600? Mind you, I didn't even boost the attack yet from scoring. That's pretty dope. This Thunderbolt is just a straight shot. And he dashes over in a direction, if you can't tell. Whenever he does a move, he kind of surfs out the way a little bit. That's a pretty neat little. So it's a little, you know, it's a little something to help him get away. Right, let's take a look at his second set of moves. Electro Ball and Psychic. Now, Electro Ball, you can either just manually hit the target with him, which I think is more or less probably the worst way to use it. I mean, in a tight situation, yeah, go ahead, but ideally you kind of want to set these up as a trap. Like, you kind of just want to put them around them. Damn, that was a fail. Okay, there's not bypassing this guy. And then use Psychic to kind of like trap them in the mix. That's if they don't run into him. But the idea with Electro Ball, I mean, if you're going to use it more strategically, is to kind of set the Electro Balls up, activate Psychic, and it's going to pull them to the center of Psychic. Now, Psychic in itself is an AoE. It does like a big little boom of damage, but it's meant to work with Electro Ball. But it's good. Does this leave them paralyzed? I think the upgrade of Psychic does that. Okay, so upgraded with Psychic. It leaves a little area of effect right there. The upgrade to Electro Ball deals damage over time, so the real question is how long these balls last. But you can only have a maximum of 3 out anyway.
I am the hype.
Appreciate the follow. That's not bad. The AoE on that is dope. Before we do that, before we use the Unite move, let's go to Thunder Wave. Electro Ball again. Thunderbolt. I want to see this in action. So set this up. Hit this. Bam. So setting these electro balls up are going to be more of an advanced strategy. I mean, obviously more people are just going to be using them like this, which honestly I think that's probably the worst way to use them. But it's quick to help you get away, especially if you got to hurry up and like dash away. So there's that. And last but not least, I want to see the upgraded version of stored power. I didn't look at that. Stored power upgrade is what? It just lowers their defense. So the whole time you're doing this, so if that upgrade on Psychic is active, they're taking damage the whole time you just zapping them. And then when it's Unite move, which creates an area of effect like that, that's not bad. Let me take a look at it one more time. That's not bad. So that was my overview of Raichu in the Pokemon Unite test server. Please keep in mind that these are test server versions and everything is subject to change, including type, positioning, elements, whatever the hell else they want to change. But thank you guys for watching. Peace, and I will see you guys on Ao's Island.